Hello and welcome to our news program. You're watching Kenya Television Service. We have stories lined up for you from within and across the country. And of course, reports from international scenes. Here are the headlines.
Do swear that I will at all times be faithful to the Republic of Kenya.
Newly appointed cabinet secretaries and principal secretaries sworn in at State House, Nairobi.
There is nobody who has any excuse whatsoever to say something happened and I was not aware.
Be accountable, add value to public service, President tells news, CS and PS. And court orders Kenyatta University Vice Chancellor Professor Mugenda to go on leave. This and much more coming your way, so stay with me until the end of this newscast. My name is Giverson Maina. And straight away, the newly appointed cabinet secretaries and principal secretaries have been sworn in at State House, Nairobi. The 7 CS and 24 PS were approved by Parliament on Wednesday and Thursday in special sittings after undergoing vetting by various committees. The ceremony was also witnessed by Deputy President William Ruto and the Attorney General Githu Muigai, amongst other senior government officials. Take a look.
Various cabinet secretaries and principal secretaries have been sworn into office today in a function witnessed by His Excellency President Uhuru Kenyatta. According to the head of public service, the state officers will be taken through an induction exercise come Monday, and which will be conducted at the Kenya School of Government. The exercise is meant to familiarize the new ministers and principal secretaries of their new duties in their respective offices. The new cabinet secretaries are Daniel Kazungu, in charge of mining, Mwangi Kiunjuri, devolution, Willy Bet, agriculture, Cecily Kariuki, public service, youth and gender, Charles Keter, in charge of energy and petroleum, Cleopa Mailu, in charge of health, and finally Joseph Musheru, in charge of ICT. The new principal secretaries are Joe Okudo, Arts and Culture, Sami Itemere, Broadcasting and Telecommunications, Mika Powon, Correction Services, Peter Kaberia, Defense, Betty Maina, ES Integration, Charles Sunkuli, Environment, Lilian Bogo Molo, Youth and Public Service, Nicholas Muraguri, Health, Aida Njeri Munano, Housing and Urban Development, Victor Chalo, ICT and Innovation, Julius Korir, Industry and Enterprise Development, and finally Chris Kipto, who is in charge of international trade.
Having reflected on our performance for the first half of the term, duly recognizing, as I'm sure you've noticed, that whereas the Constitution has limited us in terms of the number of cabinet secretaries that we can have,
the officers were sworn in today after a vetting exercise that was conducted in Parliament on Wednesday and Thursday, and which found all of them fit for public office. For KTS News, I am Dana Cheruto.
President Uhuru Kenyatta has told new cabinet secretaries and principal secretaries to take charge of their dockets and be accountable. The president reminded them of their critical role in the running of the clean government in order to deliver efficient services to Kenyans. The head of state said cabinet secretaries and principal secretaries are drawn from different backgrounds, and these will be instrumental in adding value to public service delivery, adding that the government had increased the number of principal secretaries to reduce workload and deliver on manifesto that calls for total commitment and dedication.
we want to ensure that we deal firmly and decisively and uproot this vice of corruption that has afflicted us as a nation. Whereas before, it was quite easy because, like I said, some of the principal secretaries especially had huge dockets. I think with the way we have streamlined them now, there is nobody who has any excuse whatsoever to say something happened and I was not aware. You are responsible and you shall be held responsible for the activities of your dockets. And I trust, because your background itself is clear that you have come from backgrounds where you have worked with organizations, both public and private. You could have practiced them there, but here you have a free to do. No. We want those same ethics being exercised, being practiced in government.
President Uhuru chaired the fourth National and County Government Summit that was attended by all governors except 5 cabinet secretaries and senior government officials, including Attorney General Githu Muigai, Controller of Budget Agnes Odhiambo, and Chairman of the Commission for the Implementation of the Constitution Charles Nyachae, among others. Discussed in the meeting was the issue of e-procurement that is said to have brought some expenditure challenges at the county level. During the summit, it was decided to set up an intergovernmental team that would come up with the recommendations to ensure that the e-procurement system is adopted by all counties by March next year. The intergovernmental team will also be tasked with dealing with other technical issues arising out of the implementation of the devolved system of government.
Our presence here today is proof that we are still committed to the full implementation of the Constitution.
Yeah, we have seen many things when even in traveling around, what county monies have been able to do. Visiting Wasingishu, seeing the equipment that is up and running. You know, this is something unheard of.
We must together, as the 2 levels of government, prioritize the needs of our people, jobs, food security, housing, education, and health.
But we will definitely continue to have challenges, and I just want to say it in the spirit of understanding that we want to partner together to face and to overcome the challenges as opposed to confront one another. And I am certain if we do that, we will see ultimately, and our people will see the benefits of this.
Now, away from State House, Kenyatta University Vice Chancellor Professor Oliver Mugenda has been directed by the Labor Relations Court to proceed on 6 months leave pending determination of a case which is seeking her ouster. Judge Helen Wasilo has also restrained Kenyatta University Council, its employees or agents from recruiting eligible candidates to fill Mugenda's position following an advertisement in a local daily on December 2nd, inviting applications. According to the university's charter, Mugenda is set to retire in March and next year. Mugenda was appointed Vice Chancellor in 2007 and then reappointed in 2012 by President Mwai Kibaki for another 5 years. However, her reappointment in March 2011 was controversial after the University Senate failed to advertise the position for competitive recruitment, forcing Wilfrida Itolongo, Moma Solomon, Elena Koril, Martha Mlayandazi, and Fred Obare to go to court to challenge her appointment. Justice George Odunga, however, ruled that there was nothing wrong with the failure of former President Mwai Kibaki to gazette the appointment of Professor Mugenda and declared she was in office legally. And on to Eldoret, University has held its 31st graduation ceremony of Day 2 at the main campus graduation pavilion Eldoret. Over 4,000 graduates were conferred various degrees and diplomas by the university's chancellor, who was the chief guest in the colorful event. Take a look.
The Cabinet Secretary, Ministry of Education, Fred Matiang'i, through his representative Michael Kahiti, highlighted a number of issues affecting the varsity, including lack of fiscal facilities, saying it posed a major challenge in accommodating students. The university leadership vowed to take security issues seriously, saying proper measures would be put ahead of the coming New Year 2016. He also challenged the university to contribute in Kenya's development agenda as envisaged in the ministry's mission and vision, calling on all universities to engage in innovation technologies that offer actual solutions to real-life situations.
Upon all the institutions of higher learning in this country and those that are dealing with research to put in place better coordination strategies and synergies to enhance the development and application of science, innovation and technology with a view of solving the challenges that this country faces.
Moi University boasts of Rivertex textile industry that they say has been training their students, particularly those pursuing engineering. Entertainment was also evident in the event as all enjoyed music, plays and dances. Reporting for KTS News, I am Diana Cheruto.
Now that story takes us to a short break. We'll be back with more news shortly. Don't go away. And welcome back. The Kenya National Farmers Federation have come out to declare that indeed Kenyan farmers have nothing to gain if the WTO agenda is approved. They are calling upon their government to keenly negotiate before signing any binding agreements. Alizo Konji reports.
The Federation officials claim that the WTO is solely concerned with setting and pushing for the developed nations' agenda.
The way the WTO negotiations have been going, they are skewed towards support to the developed countries. I'll tell you the reason why I think they are skewed in that particular manner. Number one, we have these developing countries kind of blocking their market access for us. They use both tariff and non-tariff barriers to block us from accessing their markets. Some of the non-tariff barriers they use are technical barriers to trade. They can use things like traceability, things like the rules of origin, things like basically things that are not really serious things, even may say.
They further insist that Kenyan farmers can only benefit from international trade only if the developed countries lift the trade bans, an agenda that has been ignored by WTO for long.
Kenya has suffered as a country. We are offering our products, especially agricultural products, and I speak from that background. We have taken our products to the market, and then at the port of entry, they are rejected. So we suffer the loss of the product itself and the cost of disposal of those products.
At the same time, they are hoping that production and processing of local products can help Kenyan farmers compete in the international market.
We find countries like Germany being the largest exporter of coffee globally, exporter of processed coffee globally. We wouldn't mind as Kenyan farmers to buy cars from Germany. We wouldn't mind to buy very sophisticated machines from Germany. But we mind seriously to buy coffee from them. It is a fallacy. We would like to process our coffee. Why do they process coffee? Because they initiated what they call tariff escalation. And therefore it means the more we process, the more we pay for our products to land in the world market. In that case, it means we are condemned to produce raw materials for them. And raw materials are normally very cheap.
Ali Sokonji, KTS, Nairobi.
Now, in the quest to guarantee road safety, the county government of Nakuru has today handed over safety reflector jackets to 200 passenger motorcyclists. The initiative is a partnership with the National Transport Safety Authority (NTSA) and motor dealer CMC Motors, where the motorcyclists received reflector jackets in a bid to encourage a safe use of roads in the county.
While addressing the cyclists in Nakuru today, Nakuru Deputy Governor Joseph Ruto emphasized on the adherence of road safety regulations by all users, especially the riders whom he said are prone to road accidents. The chairperson of the Nakuru Central Rift Boda Sacco, Stanley Musyoka, held the support of the county government, the National Transport and Safety Authority and CMC, saying it will help in ensuring safety of the cyclists, their passengers and pedestrians. Rosemary Odwor, NTCS Nakuru manager who was in attendance, used the function to sensitize the riders on matters speed regulation, passenger safety and licensing. She urged them to use the jackets regularly while riding their motorcycles and not to disobey other traffic rules. Meanwhile, Deputy Governor Ruto used the ceremony to reiterate the county government's resolve on processing grabbed land in the county, saying the county government had embarked on reverting more than 200 parcels of grabbed public land initially owned by developed departments in the county. He said the county government will reclaim the land by June next year. For KTS News, I'm Lily Shivoko.
And now it's time to go beyond borders. The African Union has agreed to send troops to stop violence in Burundi after talks in which the 54-member bloc want it to not allow genocide to happen. The move comes as international alarm grows over the spiraling violence in the tiny landlocked nation, which has been mired in bloodshed since April, sparking concern it was sliding towards civil war. The EU's peace and security Council (PSC) took a decision yesterday to send troops to protect civilians. No decision has been made on the potential size of any force, which would require the agreement of Burundi or a vote by AU presidents before any development is approved. Earlier this week, UN Secretary General Ban Ki-moon said he was dispatching an envoy for urgent talks to end the crisis, warning that the country was on the brink of civil war that risk engulfing the entire region. Burundi descended into bloodshed in April when President Pierre Nkurunziza announced his intention to run for a controversial third term, which he went on to win in July. And on to neighboring Rwanda began counting votes Friday after polls closed in a referendum to amend the constitution, allowing President Paul Kagame to rule until 2034, with few expecting the changes to be rejected. The proposed amendments have been denounced by Washington and Brussels as undermining democracy in the Central African country. But Kagame, 58 years old, who could be in power potentially for another 17 years, told reporters after casting his vote earlier today that what is happening is the people's choice. Long queues are formed during polling, some arriving before centers opened soon after dawn, with some 6.4 million registered to vote. Polls closed at 3 p.m. with counting when an estimated 800,000 people were massacred, the vast majority of them Tutsis. The issue of long-serving rulers clinging to power has caused a turmoil in Africa, where some leaders have been at the helm for decades. It's time for sports, and now I hand you over to Sheila Kosache. Sheila.
Indeed, Giverson, it's time for sporty. Thank you. My name is Kosache Sheila. I'm glad you have joined us tonight as the final Athletics Kenya cross-country race will be expected to come down this Sunday at Machakos, with more than 500 athletes expected to grace the meeting. The meeting, which is the 5th round in the 7th series event, will provide platform for the new contestant, with participants expected from the southern, central, Nairobi and the eastern region. Nancy Nzia and Eunice Kioko will lead the women track, while Cleophas Ngetich, Dominic Kiptarus and Emmanuel Kipsang will take into the senior men battle after registering success in the previous legs of the series. The remaining two races of the series will be held in Kapsukony on January 2nd and Sotik a week later. Reigning European and Spanish champions Barcelona continued their preparation in Japan ahead of the Club World Cup final battle with Argentine side River Plate on Sunday. Barcelona booked their place with a 3-0 victory over Guangzhou Evergrande, with Luis Suarez netting a hat-trick, while River Plate edged Japanese Sanfrecce Hiroshima side 1-0 to enter the Sunday final thanks to Lucas Aranio header. Barcelona are, however, facing injury scares as Lionel Messi and Neymar remain a doubt for the tie. And now to English Premier League matches resumed this weekend with a number of matches lined up. The most interesting fixture will see Arsenal battle out with Manchester City on Monday. Manchester United will play Norwich, while Chelsea, without their former manager Jose Mourinho, hosts Sunderland to pick up where they left for the last season. English leaders Leicester will travel to Everton as they look to maintain their good run of the season. Real Madrid have been named the most valuable football club in the world by marketing expert, who placed Manchester United second and Man City fourth. Premier League clubs occupied 5 of the top 10 positions and 8 of the top 20 in the report released by the London School of the Marketing Rankings. Madrid lead the way with 2.07 billion euros, while Manchester United followed them closely with a figure of 2.05 billion euros. Barcelona come third with a number estimate of 2.007 billion euros, while Bundesliga champions Bayern Munich are fifth in the ranking with an estimate of 1.5 billion euros. And now to round up this bulletin, where the most dramatic surfing season of the time came to an end yesterday as Brazilian de Souza won the 2015 Surfing League to become the first Brazilian to conquer the Billabong Pipe Masters. The 28-year-old who beat the 5 world title contestant to the glory dedicated the trophy to the late Brazilian surfer Ricardo dos Santos. Here are the full highlights.
Here we go, cutting down. 5, 4, 3, 2, Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome back to the beach your 2015 World Surf League Giverson Galaxy World Champion Adriano de Souza.
He's right at the top, blast my way, and I have this tattoo in memory of his life. And they say he has the same tattoo in the same spot, and they say strength, balance, and love. That's all I need this year to win this world title.
Well, that's all we heard from our sport desk. As you continue to prepare for the festive season, my name is Koseche Shila. Olusere for now.
Many thanks, Sheila. Sports and News is done. So am I from our news desk. Many thanks to you for watching. Let's meet again next time. My name is Giverson Maina. Have a blessed weekend and take care.